Hello and welcome to the 119th edition of Marex Maritime News. The headlines Monday, the 23rd of May 2022. Able seafarers will receive minimum 4% wage increase in new 3-year deal. Need to put price on shipping GHG emissions. Shanghai lockdown sees fewer vessels. DMV certifies first training platform provider SEABLY. Shipowners and the Maritime Labour Union reach a new 3-year wage agreement providing nearly minimum wage increases. Under the terms of the new agreement, able seafarers will receive a nearly 4% wage increase spread over the next 3.5 years. The agreement applies universally to the widely recognized rating grade.
The Joint Maritime Commission is the bipartite body of the Seafarers and Shipowners group of the ILO, and it is the platform which gives the recommendation for the ILO minimum wages for an able seafarer, and it also finds reference in the Maritime Labour Convention. Mr. Mark Dickinson was the spokesperson of the seafarers side. I was also there representing the Indian seafarers and the seafarers worldwide on this JMC. This was the first time I was there on the JMC, and it was a very experience and the proud moment to represent the seafarers worldwide on the JMC. So NUSI's representation was there, and we are very happy about it. Last year, the talks broke down because the ship owners wouldn't agree to the demand of the seafarers group, and we thought that this time it would be easy for the ship owners group to agree to the seafarers group demand of the expected increase of the able seafarers wages, because of the so much good talks and the statement by the ship owners and even the government mentioning that it is the seafarers who are keeping the world alive. But when it came down to the negotiation, the seafarers group had a very challenging time, and we had to put our foot down. That's the reason last year the talks broke down. But this year we again reconvened, and I'm happy to inform that the wages will increase from the 1st of January 2023, and then again from the 1st of January 2024, and again in the 1st of January 2025. We should have got more, but we want the process of the JMC to continue, and it will be, as I mentioned, a recommendation. But I am very happy to inform that as far as all NUSI agreements are concerned, we are already on the foreign flag. We are already going beyond the ILO recommendation of an able seafarer's wages. We are going beyond that as far as Indian seafarers on the NUSI agreement on the foreign flag. On the Indian flag, it will give an inspiration for the Indian when we do the negotiations at the NMB, that the Indian seafarers should also be given the wages as far as the ILO minimum wage for an able seaman for the basic is concerned. We positively look forward that the Indian ship owners and all our seafarers on the foreign flag will continue to get the ILO minimum wage level of the AB and beyond that. Let's hope for the best, and we want the JMC procedure to continue.
During the past 2 years, when the world was passing through the COVID-19 pandemic and many lost their jobs, including in India, where 53 million were unemployed as of December 2021, seafarers worked hard to keep the world cargo moving. Under these conditions, a wage increment of 4% is satisfactory. Seafarers are waiting for some good move by the industry in the form of getting more increment as well as getting good numbers of Indian seafarers job opportunity in upcoming future, especially when estimated an overall increase of 6.4% in number of ships by 2026. It is need of time when industry has to support for ratification of ILO Convention 071 as a whole to get separate pension scheme for retired seafarers too, which should be a part of wage negotiation too in future. the Intersessional Working Group on Greenhouse Gases have taken a major step forward in breaking the deadlock in discussions at IMO on shipping's greenhouse gases emissions by reaching consensus on the need to put a price on those emissions. The concept of market-based measures which would put a price on shipping's GHG emissions has been on the table at IMO for more than a decade, and previous debates showed apparent disagreements between member states on these measures. However, MEPC meeting recently concluded that there was now consensus to price emissions at IMO as part of a basket of midterm measures, which is a major development. IMO's work on midterm measures policy to drive shipping's transition and decarbonization is on track for the schedule which was agreed last year. There are a range of possible policy mechanisms as stated below which can drive the shipping sector's transition away from fossil fuel use, which will be further discussed, refined and prioritized. Technical measures, fuel standards, CII enhancements, new build standards. Economic measures, levy and levy of fee-based proposals, ETS and also IMRBF as a short-term measure, and combinations of these measures. In summary, it can be concluded that IMO is now clearly on track for putting a price on GHG emissions by concluding phase 1 on time in accordance with the work plan adopted at MEPC 76, which had 3 phases of development of midterm measures. Phase 1, collation and initial consideration from spring 2021 to spring 2022. Phase 2, assessment and selection of measures from spring 2022 to spring 2023. Phase 3, development of measures to be finalized with an agreed target date unassigned as yet.
Hindustan Institute of Maritime Training.
The lockdowns in China are hitting the global container distribution that is already severely stressed and facing reduced capacity due to pervasive congestion. A positive reading on this situation could be that the reduction in volumes will speed up the normalization of liner network performance and port productivity. Indeed, port congestion is easing in the US and Europe.
The Chinese pandemic has once again caused a stir all over the world, and the logistics supply chain is in turmoil. The importers, especially the car manufacturers, the pharmaceuticals, various factories are having production losses, and multinationals are losing billions because of non-availability of goods. But it has a different impact on the shipping this time. What has happened is that since the orders have not materialized, the goods are not ready for shipment, and as such, there is not too much of vessels delay as expected, though it is there, but it's not that bad. And since the supplies are not moving to the United States and other consumption areas, the congestion in US also is decreasing. We had 35 vessels reported last week in awaiting at LA, compared to almost double the numbers around the year. But it does not mean that everything is going to be hunky-dory for shipping. Shipping is having an ease because they are easing up the slots, the movements are on and the congestion is reducing, but this is going to bounce back. Once the pandemic is gone, production starts, and then there'll be a line of ships to pick up all these, and then the consequent delay in the United States. So it's bound to happen. All the best, but there is a difficulty at this point of time.
The global supply chains, distribution network, and logistics structure is getting increasingly complex and interdependent. It is for this reason revamping or resetting the supply chains will take years, not months, let alone weeks. Restoring it to reshoring will take even longer, as many skills have been lost by the buyers and their countries. It is for this reason we will not see significant changes in global supply chains and empty shelves unless the biggest buyers take bold decision to plan for the future, for supply chain resilience and responsible supply chain, as against over-reliance on cost reduction and optimization without risk mitigation. The big ones need to take the lead so that the smaller buyers and manufacturers can also follow the trail. I hope the message from the pandemic, wars, and other geopolitical developments are very clear, loud and sound for the buyers and leading manufacturers to build reliable and resilient logistics for resilient and responsible supply chains.
The DNV Sea Skill Standard ST0595 is the first of its kind and addresses an emerging trend in maritime training market, the emergence of training platform providers. The standard certification framework aims to ensure the quality of training platforms as well as their learning products and operation. It was developed in cooperation with SEABLY as a pilot customer. They offer local providers the opportunity to elevate their courses beyond their regional market and gain access to customers worldwide. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you for watching. See you next Monday.